So what are operators and expressions? Operators are special symbols that perform operations on values. They allow us to do math, compare values, assign data, and more. For example, using plus, we can add numbers together. Let's explore the different types of operators in JavaScript. Arithmetic operations help us perform mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. For example, plus add numbers, static multiplies, and percentage finds the remainder. Note that JavaScript follows PEMDAS for order of operations, just like in math class. If you don't know about PEMDAS, you can look it up. It's gonna be too long for this course to cover. But I can tell you that 2 plus 3 static 4 is 14 and not 20 because in PEMDAS, multiplication happens before addition. So here are some common arithmetic operations. Additions a plus b, subtraction a minus b, multiplication a static b, and division a /b. In addition, I also included modulus or division remainder and exponent as examples. Let's quickly try this out. So if I go here are the result of these operations. Okay, next are assignment operators. These operators allow us to assign and update values efficiently. Instead of writing x equal to x plus 5, we can just write x plus equal to 5 and it's the same thing. The result is the same. This shorthand works for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and more operations. So if we go ahead and try this, you can see the addition assignment is coming up as 15 and multiplication is 30. And do remember, this operator changes the value of x. It's x equal to x plus 5. So that's why 15 multiplied by 2 is 30 being written here. Next, we have comparison operators. Comparison operators help us to compare values. For example, p greater than q checks if 10 is greater than 20, p less than q checks if 10 is less than 20, and so on. So we have equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, which is this operator, and less than or equal to operator like this. I included an example to demonstrate the difference between equal to and strict equal to. Equal to being double equal to operator and triple equal to being triple equal to operator. So they are different in the sense that double equal to allows type conversion. So here we can see P is a number and it is being compared with double quotes 10, which is a string, and it's going to evaluate to true. However, P triple equal to 10 is also going to take into consideration the type. So it's just value comparison and it's value plus type comparison. So let's go ahead and check and see. This one resulted in true, but this one resulted in false because the type was different, even though the value was the same. We move on to logical operators, which include logical and, logical or logical not. Logical and is double ampersand. Logical or is double pipe symbol, and logical not is applied using an exclamation mark before the variable. Logical and returns true only if both sides of this expression are true. And logical or returns true if any one of the operand is true. Logical and is the opposite of the variable value. So is Sunny is currently true, so it's going to return false. Let's give it a try. And you can see the first statement returned false because is weekend was false. The second one returned true because is Sunny was true. And is Sunny was true, so the third one came out false. JavaScript is smart and efficient, and it would not evaluate the entire expression if it can determine the result of the expression early on. So we have three examples of this behavior called short circuiting. And in the first one, we have just given a pre-short circuit example where we have true on one side and would print on the other side. In JavaScript, values are either truthy or falsy. Truthy values, like non-empty strings, act as true and they can participate in this logical AND comparison as true, while falsy values like false, zero, empty string, null, undefined, and not a number act as false. Since here would print is a non-empty string, it would act as true, and therefore this entire expression would be true, and it would result in would print being returned and printed on the console. Whereas in the second one, False and won't print are participating in this expression with logical and since logical and demands both operands to be true to return true, since the first operand is false, JavaScript won't even go further and evaluate anything. So it's going to return false from here, and won't print would never be printed to console log. JavaScript would return early if the end result of the expression is determined. Similarly, the last statement or short circuit has true followed by the logical OR operator. And since logical OR returns true if any of the operand is true, so this is also going to be returning early and won't print would never be printed to the console log. So let's give it a try and see if it happens. So you can see would print got printed for this one. But since both of these were returning early, their end result like false and true were returned and printed to the console log, but not the won't print on the console. I also included a special operator called conditional operator or ternary operator example here. So this is kind of a if-else statement, and it's evaluated like we have a Boolean variable is raining. So is raining followed by a question mark takes two operands. So take an umbrella or leave the umbrella separated by a colon sign. So if the variable is true, then the first operand would be returned, or otherwise the second operand would be returned. So let's give it a try. And I also included an example with the type of operator, which we discussed earlier, that this can be used in if statements, and if statements are going to follow shortly. But here's how you can use this in a ternary operator. So since is raining was true, the first operand got returned and got printed. And is 25 in double quotes a string or number? It's a string. Its type of is the string. And that brings us to the end of the operators segment. Now that you know operators, let's explore control flow and conditional statements in the next chapter.